Welcome to Transmissions Alt Mode, where we talk about all news, comics, and media related to the Transformers. On this episode, we talk about the latest Rise of the Beast updates, a video game returns to mobile devices, and familiar faces return to conventions this summer. Today is Friday, May 19th, 2023, and this is episode 338 of Transmissions Alt Mode.
Welcome to Transmissions Alt Mode, the podcast that has our tickets and is ready to watch a movie in a few weeks. Across the Spider-Verse looks great. I'm your host, Daryl, Cybertronian Beast, and I'm joined by the excellent Transmissions team. Jeremy, aka Yakko.
Hey, how's it going?
And Apollo, aka Robo Apollo.
Hi, everyone. Let's talk Transformers.
Awesome.
It hurts Daryl every time someone else has to say it.
I know. I know. It's like a knife in the heart.
It's like, but that's my thing.
If you pause the video, you can go frame by frame and see the moment my heart gets cut in two.
Just every time. Doesn't matter who does it. If it's not Daryl.
All right. Well, we start off the show every week by talking about our Donatreons and how much we love them and how much we need them, because our show is, it's free, but it's not free to make. So every time we get a new Donatreon, we really like to celebrate them and thank them. And we can't do this without you. So thank you to all of our Donatreons. Because we love our Donatrons so much, we do give them special content. We have our awesome show, like We Like Big Bots, and that is a show that I do with Dr. Pants, and it's a show where we just talk about the biggest bots we've got in our collections and what we like about them. So we go through our toys and talk about how this toy is awesome and we love this toy so much, and then we go to another character, a different figure of the same character and talk about how that character is so awesome. And yeah, it's awesome. And that is not a big bot, Jeremy. That is a tiny bot. That is the sub show of We Like Big Bots. That is we don't mind tiny toys. So
okay, yeah.
But the We Like Big Bots is a show that Dr. Pants and I have been doing for a little while. We got 10 episodes of it, and we are on hiatus right now while we wait for Dr. Pants to find his way back to shore. And we got another show. It's Empire of Rust, and this is a show. It's a live play RPG, and it is run by our good friend Mike, and he is the show itself is free, but we do have a bonus episode or a bonus version of the show for our Donatreons, which is the uncut episode. And that is where all the, good stuff is left in. And so you get to have a little bit extra content in there for you. So it's a fun show. They just passed episode 100 and tons and tons of stuff there for you to listen to, a lot of back catalog as well. So take a listen to that. And with being a Donatreon, I do want to say we do also have a contest that we like to run every month where we give away a $10 gift certificate to Toy Hacks. And you can qualify for that automatically by being one of our Donatreons or by sending in a picture of something that you wanted to get stickered up, and that'll qualify you. So it is still free to
email contest@transmissionspodcast.com.
Right. But if you don't want to do that, but you still want to get something from Toy Hacks, you can do that. We have a partnership with them where we have a code you can use. You can save 15% at Toy Hacks by using the code Blaster7. So we did have a code that was going on for a long time, and it seemed to spread far past the borders of this podcast. So they contacted us and said, hey, let's try a new code. And so we're doing that. So we've got Blaster 7 right now, and this code will change next month, and we will continue to have new codes every month, just so that we can kind of keep a lid on what's happening with the code. Anyway, check that out at toyhacks.com. And coming up later this week, or maybe by the time that you've heard this episode, we will have a interview with Jean-Nic Bontemps. This is a gentleman who is the composer of the Rise of the Beast score, and we have the pleasure of interviewing Mr. Jean-Nic. This is one of the coolest interviews we've had, and we're very excited to be able to bring this interview to you. So yeah, we're gonna get this out as soon as possible. Like I said, by the time you hear this, maybe it's already out or it's coming real soon. So look for this interview coming from the alt mode feed if you are listening to them in separate feeds. But this is Mr. Jean-Nic Bontemps, the composer of the Rise of the Beast score.
Yeah, and it'll also be on our YouTube channel as well. So
That's right.
We're so excited about that. It's gonna be really awesome.
Very cool. All right. So we'll get into the show and we're going to go right into media news. All right. And we're going to start off the show this week by talking about the Transformers Rise of the Beast world premiere in Singapore. It's happening May 27th. And yeah, this thing is happening. We are mere weeks away from Rise of the Beast. I mean, can you feel it? Can you feel the excitement? The thing got delayed like 3 times, people, and we're here. It's happening. There's no stopping this train now. We are going to be in it. I got my tickets. I know I've been talking to everybody else here. We all got our tickets. We're going to see this sucker. So the world premiere is happening May 27th. The global premiere is happening June 9th. And we got another story coming up for another premiere too. So stick with us for that. Moving on, Apollo, what do you got?
So what I have is Transformers Rise of the Beast. There's an interview about Mirage / Pete Davidson in Entertainment Weekly, where they're talking about his interpretation of the character. So this is a little short quote. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but this is from Stephen Capel. Is that how his name is pronounced? Stephen Capel's Jr.'s words about Mirage and Pete. Keeping with the 90s, the director remembers how Davidson threw out an image. The mask meets Bugs Bunny. Similar to Jim Carrey's Stanley Ipkiss character, who transforms into a chaotic personality when he puts on the titular green mask of the 1994 movie, Capel says that the fast-talking Mirage is someone you can't hold down. Similar to Bugs, he's a good character, but sometimes he toes the line, Capel adds. So there's a full article that you can read, and if you want to know more about Pete Davidson's interpretation of the character Mirage, or you don't have to read it, but it is there if you want to know more like behind the scenes stuff. Okay.
Does it talk about Mirage dating Ariana Grande?
No.
Kim Kardashian?
It's set in the 90s, Daryl.
Yeah.
Well, Kate Beckinsale, she was around.
Yeah. Or who is that?
How Pete Davidson?
The Pepsi commercials.
It's ridiculous.
I think it's just because he's a nice guy. That's what it seems like.
The dude looks like a frog. What the hell?
I know, but if you're nice, maybe you just want a nice guy. You just as a lady, you just want a nice guy. Yeah.
I tried all that. I tried all that when I was in high school. It did not work for me at all.
Daryl, how long have you been married now?
Yeah.
Yeah, a long time.
I think
I get it. I get it.
It worked. You had success with it, being a nice guy. So
I'm just telling you, when I was trying real hard, it didn't work.
Yeah. Well, you see, you don't try hard. You just, meet someone and then you fall in love. So, it's when you're least looking.
Right.
So, So my next bit of news is about Transformers Rise of the Beast, the movie runtime. So we actually have the official time for this. It is 1 hour and 57 minutes. So then that's not including the credits. So it's not going to be a 3.5 hour long movie. I think it's under 2 hours, in my opinion, is a good spot for a movie. The right amount of time. So
yeah, definitely not one of those like in and out hour and a half kind of things, and not one of those 3 hour epics that you're like, okay, well, if this movie should have been over 20 minutes ago, kind of thing. So
yeah. So I'm hoping there's just no dull moments in the movie, since it's under 2 hours. Like every moment counts, and then the pacing is good. So but yeah, we have the official runtime. So there you go. And then I think it's on to you, Jeremy.
Yeah. I have another interview with Stephen Caple Jr. This is from the Hollywood Reporter, and I think it was pretty interesting. He talked about how helpful Michael Bay was in terms of things like the CGI. And Michael Bay is the producer on this. But also how his work with Creed 2 has helped him in the fight scenes. Because one thing he mentioned was, with Creed 2, with humans, you're actually faking the punches. But here, he was like, I could go, as much as they could just beat the hell out of each other. And, that was cool. But he was also thinking, how would this joint move in the fight? Or how can I have him transform in the middle of a fight to make it useful? And I was really happy to hear that he's thinking of these Transformers as characters, and just the transforming, they would use it naturally, as they're doing something like this. There's also, he talked about the music a little bit, and he mentioned that there's a legacy artist like from the era of the 90s that is coming back to do a new song just for this. And he hasn't revealed the name yet, but that's pretty cool.
I hope it's Vanilla Ice.
Yeah, I don't know. He has people like Wu-Tang Clan, Tribe Called Quest, Notorious B.I.G., DMX. I don't know if Vanilla Ice would. I don't know.
Did he get Tupac?
Well, I mean, if you believe he's not dead.
It's a hologram.
Yeah, but he talked about Beast Wars and stuff. Peter Dinklage playing Scourge. And then he wants people to really connect with the characters. He said also connect with the humans too, but he wants people to connect emotionally with the Transformers. And he says like he really truly cares about like Optimus Primal and these other characters. So personally, it seems to me like he understands that the Transformers are the characters. And
that's good to hear.
I can never forget when I was at BotCon 2012 and they had a conversation with, or it was like a clip with like Steven Spielberg and Michael Bay, or talking about Michael Bay, and Steven Spielberg had to explain what Transformers were to Michael Bay, and like take the toy, and because Steven Spielberg had kids in the 80s and, he was familiar with them. He's like, look, you can take this vehicle, make it a robot. And Stephen Caple has, he's of our era. He grew up with them. So I am really hoping for that emotional connection to the characters. So this is a really good interview. I would definitely recommend checking it out.
Right on. So what we've got here is our possible, it always says possible because you're never sure, but we got possible first look at Stratosphere, the movie model from Transformers Rise of the Beast. So Stratosphere, I believe, is going to be voiced by John DiMaggio. And this is our potential first look at what Stratosphere might look like. And if you imagine what like an old rugged World War II pilot would look like, that's what this looks like. He's got the big bushy mustache, which of course, why wouldn't a robot have a mustache? Of course.
Yeah, of course.
and kind of got the aviator kind of hat on. That's not really a helmet; it's more of just the ear covering hat, because the robots have ears. So, but either way, it's a look at what Stratosphere's face would look like. Yeah, it's it also mentions that this is going to be voiced by Frank Matano for the Italian dub. So you got to remember, all of these movies are going to be dubbed in other languages, and there's going to be a bunch of different voice actors doing the same roles as that we've heard for other people. But anyway, you want to know what Stratosphere might look like? I think we've got a pretty good idea here.
I think John DiMaggio doing a voice to a character looks like that is probably going to be very funny.
Yeah,
I hope so. I have a voice in my head already of what I think it's going to sound like, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be kind of funny.
Cool.
It's like Scruffy from Futurama.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Only just a little bit lower, a little bit higher pitched voice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. So in our next piece of news, we've got the official Transformers Rise of the Beast bio cards. These were posted on the Transformers Facebook and Instagram accounts. And I actually saw this pop up on my Instagram, and I was like, oh, this is so cool. So we have bios and information on all the following characters: Optimus Primal, Cheetor, Airazor, Rhinox, Scourge, Unicron, Battletrap, Nightbird, Optimus Prime, Bumblebee, Mirage, RC, Wheeljack, Stratosphere, Noah, and Elena. So I read through all of these, and they're really interesting. And I kind of wish I didn't read them, though, because I wanted to go into the movie blind, me personally. But it gives you kind of like context on where the characters are coming from for this movie. So, if you're interested in knowing more about the characters before you go see the movie, check this out. If you prefer to go in with no information, maybe wait and read it until after the movies. But this is really good. It's really good and interesting information. And what I found really interesting, I know this was mentioned on social media a bit, but Airazor, I don't think we've seen her or Rhinox transform at all into robot mode. So, I don't know. We haven't seen them yet, right?
We've seen toys, but not.
We've seen their toys,
screen.
Yeah. So I thought that was really interesting that everyone else was in their robot mode. So, not Cheetor. He wasn't either, but it's just really weird. So anyways, that was my observation there. And back to you, Jeremy.
Jeremy, before you move on, I wanted to mention one thing. Can you click on Stratosphere's little bio card there?
Mm-hmm.
There's his face. There you go.
It's the same picture.
It's the same picture. Yep. So that confirms the last story there.
I like his mustache, but it's like, yeah, why does he have a mustache? I know we talk about this every time they have facial hair, like they gave Starscream that goatee in Earthspark, and it's just like, okay.
I don't mind the robotic one, just looks like a piece of flat metal, but this looks like hair. Like it honestly does look like a bushy mustache. Like
I want to touch it. If it wouldn't cut me, and if it was real,
right?
Yeah.
Adding all those disclaimers.
All right,
Jeremy, you're up, Jeremy.
We have some announcement of some new promotional posters. One of them, or I guess two of them, is the graffiti style Optimus Prime or Optimus Primal, and these are available at the Early Access Fan Event on June 7th. I mentioned that last week in alt mode, and you can also get an IMAX poster of Autobots and Maximals, a 4DX poster, Maximal Group, and Rise of the Beast Reed D3D poster, Optimus Prime and Optimus Primal. So I can show some of these here. Here's the Optimus Prime and Optimus Primal from the fan, like the early access fan event.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the IMAX. I mean, we've kind of seen some of these like images together. It's just put together differently. Here's the 4D
Oh,
one.
that's cool.
And then this is the, sorry. This was a TFW typo. It's not Read, it's Real D 3D. There you go. I'd even forgotten about 3D movies. I hate those, but it's an interesting image there, and then it's back to the original. So it's pretty cool. I'm hoping that my theater has these posters for the fan event because I really, I think they look really cool. Either Optimus Prime or Optimus Primal.
I'm guessing the IMAX is going to only have the IMAX one, right?
Yeah. Well, I'm not sure if the other ones are going to be given out.
Okay.
I think these are just promotional posters, but I don't know. I mean, you can check with your theaters.
Okay.
To reiterate, because I did mention it at the top there, is that there is this fan event that you did talk about last week on the show that is happening on June the 7th.
At 7 p.m. local time.
Yeah, so this is 2 days before, one full day before the official, the official unofficial release, because it's supposed to be released on Friday the 9th. Usually you can get it in a day early, but this is going to be a full day earlier than that. So if you're looking to see the movie super early, you got to check with the what's the site that you went to, Jeremy?
I just went to a Fandango where I normally get my tickets.
Oh, okay, cool.
So, and my movie theater also just had it if I went directly. So this is just them monetizing an extra early day rather than, having it the regular price. I can't remember if it was more expensive than normal, but it wasn't too bad.
Cool. All right. Well, we're going to go from media news. We're going to stick with media news, but we're going to move from movie news to some G1 news. That's right. We're going to talk about some G1 stuff. Apollo.
All right. So we got some new artwork, this Transformers G1 sheets and background art to share with you. This is from the Sunbow Marvel Archives website. So these are from the first are background layers and equipment models from the run of 19 season 2 episodes. So Autobot Spike, Changing Gears, City of Steel, Attack of the Autobots, Traitor, the Immobilizer, the Autobot Run, Atlantis Arise, Day of the Machines, Enter the Nightbird, A Prime Problem, The Core, the Insecticon Syndrome, Dinobot Island Part 1 and 2, The Master Builders, Auto Berserk, Microbots, and Megatron's Master Plan Part 1. So you can find all this material at the Sunbow Marvel Archive, and there's a link posted. There's also for season 3, they have 29 models and backgrounds for Chaos, 15 backgrounds for Web World, and a key panoramic background from the Return of Optimus Prime Part 1. So, and there's a link posted here as well. I think this is really cool. I love seeing historical, production art like this and world building and things like that. So, especially this is how Transformers started, and it's really cool. So if you have a chance, check this out. It's incredible stuff.
Oh, I love that stuff. That's beautiful artwork that was all hand drawn and takes you right back to the 80s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always like knowing the behind the scenes stuff. So it's really cool. This is finally coming up, with the 40th anniversary of Transformers being next year. So that's really cool.
It's crazy.
Yeah. So now, Daryl, I'm turning it over to you for the gaming news.
Yeah, we got some game stuff, and yeah, we got a lot of Rise of the Beast news and a little bit of G1, but yeah, there's still game stuff happening. And I think a lot of people, we thought this was dead, and it's doesn't seem to want to die. So the game Forged to Fight is still alive. It has gained a second life. Boop, boop. On Netflix games, which I learned was a thing reading this story. So apparently Transformers Forged to Fight has been added to the Netflix app, which you can access on your phone or tablet to play. I tried looking for it on my TV, idiot, and it wasn't there. So if you were a fan of Forged to Fight, which its servers were shut down officially in early January, and it ran for a long, long time, you will be happy to know that this game has come back, and then you can now get on there and go and play it on Netflix games.
I just open up my next Netflix app and it's like right there in the front.
Cool.
It's probably one of the bigger games they have access to.
Yeah, it was right next to Too Hot to Handle, Love is a Game. And SpongeBob Get Cooking.
Okay.
Oh.
There's a wide variety of games.
Yeah.
There.
So
cool. And lastly, there's if you're going to be planning a trip to Saudi Arabia, then you may want to wait a little bit. We've got a Transformers indoor entertainment center being planned for Saudi Arabia, and it's going to be big. So development group Saudi Entertainment Ventures, or Seven, has signed an agreement with Hasbro to develop its first indoor entertainment center based on Transformers. And this thing is going to be huge. We're talking covering over 10,000 square meters, which a meter is way bigger than a foot. So this thing is going to be absolutely big, like really, really big. We're talking huge. It's going to take a little bit of cash to get over to Saudi Arabia, so I can't imagine that this thing would it would be a fairly cheap excursion, but looks like it would be pretty fun to check it out if you're able to go. I don't know. Apollo, does this look like something you would want to check out?
I'd like to check it out. I don't know if I want to go to Saudi Arabia. So, but maybe someday, I'd like to see more, like the concept art. That's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I can't believe how big it's going to be. I just wonder what's in there, what's going to be in there,
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, looks like in some of the pictures you can see, there's a roller coaster in the background, and it looks like one of those rides where they strap you in and it looks like it flips around.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And another one here we have a ride, basically like a giant seesaw type ride. And I would imagine there would be some dark rides similar to like Universal and Disney where you're going through a story.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah. Let's go to Saudi Arabia. Let's go check it out. So I want to see more first before I decide if I'm going to go or not. But it seems cool so far.
Well, it's not built, so it's we still got some time.
Yeah.
I would hope that the ideas here and with the Hong Kong restaurant that we recently talked about, they can all combine into some expansion at Universal Studios in the States, where they already have the Transformers ride.
Mm-hmm. I think I'd prefer them to kind of come up to Canada's Wonderland. That'd be nice.
Yeah.
I mean, that's driving distance for me, so
that would be a great thing to do, before a TFCon.
Exactly. See, we're all on the same page here.
Yes.
Well, that is going to do it for media news. So we are going to move over to convention news.
All right, we have some announcements for convention news. Start with TF Nation. They have announced that writer May Cat is going to be there. May wrote for Cyberverse, War for Cybertron Kingdom, Earthspark, as well as Young Justice and the Legend of Vox Machina. So we had her on our show around the time of Kingdom to talk about that series. But really awesome that, you know, May's getting out there to TF Nation, and looking forward to hearing how that goes. And then over here for TFCon Toronto, they have announced that Venus Terzo, who is the voice of Black Arachnia in Beast Wars, she's going to be returning to TFCon. And Beast Wars actors in general are always great guests. They're always funny. They have great stories. So I don't know if I've ever actually met her, and I think that'd be great to finally meet another Beast Wars actor. So good to see that she's going to be there. However, we have some bad news about TFCon that we mentioned in the toy show. The hotel for TFCon is completely booked up, entirely. They have on the hotel page, they have a link that will take you to nearby hotels if you still need to get a hotel room. So be sure to check that out, and also check the main hotel still as you're leading up to it, because we have been told there are usually cancellations. So maybe you could still get into the main hotel if you have, if there's a spot that opens up when you check it. So that is all we got for convention news.
All right. Well, then that is going to do it for this episode of Transmissions Alt Mode. We like to end our show by thanking our Masterpiece Donatreons. And I'm going to do that right now by thanking John 4X Evangood and Demon Tech 82. Thanks a lot, guys. You guys really do make it a really great time over here by helping us out and donating at the highest level. And anyone else can join them at that high level and get your name read out at the end of every single show and make me do some kind of awkward ending. It's really quite nice to be stuck like this. Charles does it so easily because he does it so often, but I'm just going to end now. Thanks, guys. Thank you, Apollo, for joining us. It's great to have you back, and I'm happy to have you here. And Jeremy, I mean, he doesn't show it. He has no emotions anyway, but I'm sure he's super happy too.
Thank you. It's good to be back. We're on a regular schedule, finally.
That's right. All right. Well, thanks everyone for joining us, and we will see you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Transmissions. If you'd like to join the conversation, travel to our Discord channel at transmissionspodcast.com/Discord. Want some cool transmission swag? Feast your eyes on our transmissions gear at transmissionspodcast.com/shop. If you'd like to support our podcast, go to transmissionspodcast.com/support or tell your friends about our show. We'll see you next time.